wrong. And at that moment, I started looking and looking and looking, and desperation start to race, and I drove my car to every single relative, to uncles, aunties, and everybody, that where she could be, and nobody knew. Nobody was saying anything. Say, well, she's not here. She's not here, and all my heart started, beating so fast. My mind was just losing it. I mean, my brain, and I couldn't even think. I just got this sensation like a desperation, and just go to one level that I cannot even explain. So I start doing all these things, and then when all my sources and all my things in my mind got lost, then I came back home and say, well, what's going on? And I just sat next to the phone, is just to wait, until I hear something, and some kind of a ransom message, or I don't know, is the bad thing about seeing too many movies, that you just get your mind, preset to the most catastrophic thing, However, this was, pretty much justified in this at that moment. And I didn't hear about them, for a few days, couple of days, like 2-3 days. So I was just sitting in a dark room, in my closet, and I didn't even have any food, any water. I couldn't even move. I was like a I don't know, maybe in a different state of mind, or I don't know. So I thought I was losing my mind. I mean, getting crazy. I don't know, and all the big things that the structure started to fall down. No, yes, started to crash. Everything, all my belief system, everything. I just started to crumble, and in a moment I even thought about taking my life, everything, because the woman that I love the most, and my baby, which showed me what real love was, were gone. And I say, what I did wrong?
Wow.
What I did wrong? I did everything I was supposed to do. I was a good brother, a good son, a good husband, a good provider, a good in society, a good in everything that I thought that it was important. I was a good Catholic. I did all my prayers, all my things. And why? And I later on, I thought that, I mean, the question wasn't why, was what for, what for, what I had to learn. So I just start to just say, God, okay, so I think that this is overpassing me. I have two choices. So just take my life, or just surrender. And in my belief system, I was very based on prediction, on forecast, to be prepared. I was always prepared for everything, but this, what happened to me. And the other thing was that I wasn't educated to surrender up to anything. I was trained to always win. I was very well trained, and I everything I did was perfect according to me, and I won all my battles always according to me. So into that belief system, just to say the word that I surrender myself to something superior, that I couldn't handle it, that I think was the key thing in my life that just pressed. And was my reset button. I reset myself to to factory defaults, I guess, when I don't know anything, and
Right.
I just wipe out my mind, and I think what everything started.
Oh my goodness! Wow, Jose Antonio. I usually make a lot of notes, but with yours, I'm really present to listen because, first of all, I cannot even imagine. Well, I was imagining, I was having visions of you arriving to the house and not seeing your child. I don't know what I would do. It's one of my worst nightmares or fears, right? That sometimes I have nightmares of, but that question that you said, I'm kind of going back so to review this with our listeners. That you said, what did I do wrong? I was doing everything right. I was everything. And this shows me, and this shows hopefully everyone that is listening, that life will happen. That no matter how, like, you're doing things great, things will happen, storms will come. And the difference here with Jose Antonio, he hasn't even shared all the things that he's creating, all the movements he's created. I'll ask him questions, but the difference with Jose Antonio is that the choices he has made, out of the tragedy has come a lot of triumph. Out of the tragedy has come a lot of, well, obviously by his choice, as he said it, the choice, which was surrender, which just gave me shivers. Each time he speaks about surrender, I'm like, oh, remember, Yvonne, remember. Surrender to the moment, surrender to the wisdom of infinity, surrender to the goodness that this storm may bring into this, that this wipeout may bring to the moment. And the choice he made was really to move forward and to trust himself inwards and God and the divinity, however you want to call it. And wow, I'm just he was able to transmute something so painful. I'm still like, I'm like, oh, I'm even mindful in how I ask. But wow, Jose Antonio, just please keep sharing, because I think that anybody in the world right now that is having a challenge, and collectively, there was the pandemic, the virus. Now, a lot of people are scared as we are recording this podcast of the vaccine. They don't know if the government this, the government that. They don't know who's on their side or who's against them. There's so many biases right now that you coming today to share, hey, my daughter was kidnapped, and this is what I chose to do with that. Is I just know that it's going to give a lot of hope, a lot of grace, and a lot of abundance to so many people that are willing to listen to this with the ears of the heart, because this requires heart and courage to listen. So, wow, please go on, Jose Antonio.
Thank you. Well, once there, I started to realize that I was a master of external things. Yeah, I succeeded in a lot of things in a very young age, and was really cool. However, I didn't know anything about myself or how to manage my internal uh, being, what was inside of me. I didn't know about who that guy was, one thing I did is just visit my mother's house, and well, she was into her things, and I told her, well, I need help, and say, well, go and get it, and say, if you really want help,
Wow.
in my bathroom there is a book, from a 12-step program, and in the back it says phone, dial it, and get the help that you think you need. And at that moment when I said that I surrendered, I literally surrendered to anything. I was willing just to to rebuild myself, to find out why, and I did. So I started visiting all these 12-step programs, and they gave me so much information, and I started to manage my internal emotions, my internal sentiments, my internal system, and
This is
and then
incredible, Antonio. Sorry to interrupt you right now, but I do want to give light, like a highlighter of what you just said, because I've been able to be training for more than a year now with Tim Grover. Tim Grover was the trainer for minds and athletes like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and other incredible athletes and entrepreneurs, business people, etc. But you naturally have what I've been learning of mindset. You've shared a couple of things that I want to highlight to people. So I really recommend everyone, if you have a notebook, to begin to write down the wisdom that Jose Antonio is sharing, because he was really geared and trained, like he shared before, just in a very kind of win mindset, like let's get all of the material things, the external wins, right? He was in the hustle mode, in the achievement mode, but he noticed, this is important, that like, who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who I am. The internal process has not even taken place. But he realized, I need help. I love this, Jose Antonio. I love that when you went to your mom didn't say, "Oh, poor my baby." She says, "Go get it." I think
yeah,
this is one of my favorite moments, because it was like, "Go get it." And I love that you went to get help, and again, the surrender. That's super strong. And that's when you chose to begin to rebuild yourself. And I would have never thought, it's so true. The 12 steps process, how much help can they bring to anyone? You don't even have to be drinking. You just got to want to do the work to know yourself and move forward. So, on to you now, the microphone, Jose.
thank you. So pretty much, I said, okay, I mean, this is giving me a lot of insights, a lot of how to manage my internal system. I want to know more. And then I found out that was actually was a family thing, all this situation. And I said, but why? Why? I couldn't understand. And this why was all over me. And I met a guy. It was a very, very, very crucial time, because my mom said to me, once I started to say, hey, I need to stop everything, and I just going to dedicate to find myself. And she said to me, but what's going to happen with your business? You're going to lose it all. And I told her, well, Mom, if I lose my mind, anyways, I'm going to lose it all. So,
Wow, Antonio, let's pause for this moment. Everyone, this is like a holy moment. Jose Antonio, you're speaking. Oh my gosh, my spirit is like rejoicing. Everyone, this is so incredible. This is wisdom that people pay for years and years and years and years to learn, and you are just giving it here right now for free, with so much honesty. I want to share with everyone. Again, I'm going to be I'm a highlighter today. I'm not even an interviewer, because the wisdom of Jose Antonio is just so pristine and so from the heart. Understand that he had to learn to manage his emotions, that he decided this is the moment to stop anything and really focus on finding who he was, finding himself. And when the voices of the external world, in this case was his dear mother, saying, but you're going to lose everything. This phrase, and we're going to quote you in the podcast, in the copy: if I lose my mind, I will lose everything. So, wow, Jose Antonio. Oh, please keep sharing.
thank you. So at that moment, I just pretty much left everything, and I hear some people say, "Hey, I mean, the restaurant, the employees are taking, the the hams and everything to their homes and everything." I say, "Well, so be it. What was the problem?"